Tonight on News Prime, Senate suspends Senator Akpoti Uduaghan for 6 months. Business, federal government partners to engage 100,000 Nigerian youths in agriculture. On the foreign scene, World Health Organization warns U.S. funding cuts threaten global progress against tuberculosis. And in sports, Super Falcons retain global position, remain first in Africa. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agumofwebe, reminding our viewers that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. Tonight, we begin by telling you the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has decorated 6 newly appointed Deputy Inspectors General of Police and 1 Assistant Inspector General of Police following the recent retirement of 6 veteran DIGs on March 3rd, 2025. According to a statement from Force Headquarters, the newly appointed DIGs bring extensive experience from various commands and departments within the Nigeria Police Force. During the ceremony, the Inspector General congratulated the newly promoted officers, urging them to uphold integrity, professionalism, and service in their leadership roles. President Bola Tinubu has assured all 774 fellows under the newly launched National Health Fellows Program of automatic employment after their 1-year tenure. In April last year, the President had approved the National Health Fellows Program, a key initiative under his renewed hope agenda to enhance accountability and efficiency in healthcare delivery. The fellows, who have been undergoing training since February 27, 2025, under the Sector-Wide Approach Coordination Office, will spend the next year monitoring primary health care centers across Nigeria's 774 local government areas. The Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has called on officers nationwide to intensify efforts in protecting critical national assets and tackling emergency security threats. The Commandant General stated this during the Corps' quarterly general meeting, where he emphasized the need for a more robust and vibrant operational strategy. Details are presented by Ramsey Enoch.
The quarterly meeting served as a platform for top officers of the NSCDC to assess past efforts, identify challenges, and strategize for improved security operations. In his address, the Commandant General commended the officers for their dedication, but urged them to strengthen their resolve in tackling issues such as vandalism, illegal mining, terrorism, and farmer-herder clashes.
To commend your efforts over the years, especially in directing and coordinating the Corps' various operational activities.
The CG highlighted the growing connection between banditry and illegal mining, stressing that criminals are exploiting these activities to fund their operations. He called for a more coordinated approach to curb this threat. He further emphasized the importance of accountability among commanding officers, urging them to be proactive in intelligence gathering and operational execution.
He is also poised to continue to, do her job, to continue to provide safety and security for critical assets and infrastructure, and in doing this, the Corps is going to continue to collaborate. Like I used to say each time I mount the podium, that it is this time around we have seen very clearly that the 3 C's are very, very highly operational, in nature: cooperation, collaboration, and coordination.
With Nigeria facing evolving security challenges, the NSCDC leadership insists that strengthening operational capacity and staying ahead of criminal elements remain top priority. Ramsey Enoch reporting for Global TV News.
Well, thank you, Ramsey. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has categorically denied allegations of sexual harassment made against him by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, which is now before a court of competent jurisdiction. Akpabio's denial comes amidst a backdrop of political tension and public debate, with some calling for his resignation and others defending his integrity. Samuel Odi completes the report.
The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, at the start of the preliminary section emphasized that he has always upheld respect for women and recognized them as most gender-friendly governor in Nigeria during his tenure. He urged the public to await the court's decision on the matter rather than drawing conclusions prematurely.
I and my siblings were raised very well by my late single mother. She died in year 2000. Through very difficult times, and I therefore have the highest regards for women. Even at demise, I still cry till today. I also wish to state that I also have 4 beautiful daughters. So at no time will I ever harass any woman, and I've never done so.
Meanwhile, a petition submitted by Senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti, caused a stir in the Senate chamber.
The petition is in my name against the President of the Nigerian Senate, His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, for sexual harassment, abuse of office, and malicious obstruction of my legislative functions. You may recall, sir, that on Friday in Arise TV, I did make some statements. And I have decided to narrow these statements in a formal petition against the President of this Senate. So if it may please you, I would humbly step forward and lay this petition. Thank you.
You may proceed.
Chief Whip of the Senate, Mohammed Mogono, had called on the Senate to reject petitions, citing that the matter of sexual harassment was before the courts. Mogono further stressed that any deviation from the standing rules is an invitation to chaos and anarchy.
And my ultimate destination is that our rules, in very clear and unambiguous terms, in Rule 40 and specifically Rule 7, states that Senate should not receive or deliberate on any matter to which actions are pending in any court of law. And for your information, Mr. President, distinguished senators.
Reacting, Senator Akpoti clarified that the matter before the court was on defamation of character by an aide of the Senate President who posted comments suggesting she was inappropriately dressed in the preliminary.
The matter before the court is on the defamation and cyberbullying statements made by your special assistant on...
In a related development, the Senate has now suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, representing Kogi Central, for a period of 6 months. The decision followed the recommendations of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, which found her guilty of misconduct and failure to appear before the committee. Let's turn to other stories tonight. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has appealed to the Nigerian public to comply with traffic laws and regulations with a view to reducing high rates of crashes on the roads. The Corps spokesman Olusegun Ogungbemide says the public support and cooperation are essential in ensuring a safe and secured motoring environment. Mude, who expressed concern over the high rates of casualties on the country's roads, attributed it to impunity and disregard for traffic laws. The federal government has launched the National Electronic Assets and unveiled compendium on federal account revenue allocation to federal, state, and local governments in Abuja. Speaking at the event, Minister of State for Finance, Doris Uzoka Anite, says the initiative represents a substantial advancement towards transparent and accountable public asset management and adhering to international standards. Kekelama Okere was there for Global TV.
Assets are the backbone of the economy for government, while public assets are the significant part of its balance sheet, influencing not just the financial position, however, it is also the ability to deliver service to citizens. The Minister of State for Finance stated that the initiative is to implement ideas, strategies, and measures to promote transparency, accountability, and probity in the management and disbursement of the federal account.
Though we have a lot of assets, but locked down in different places, different books in different agencies, but not one single balance sheet or financial statement that can actually tell us the true health of the country. Because that's what the financial statement really does, is to tell the health of our asset, because this is basically what we're doing. Quantify the asset, value the asset, and put it on a piece of paper where all of us can see and then begin to do a number of things with it. I think it's a...
The Accountant General of the Federation, Oluwatoyin Midein, says the National Electronic Assets Register is designed to give real-time access to information about the assets owned by the federal government of Nigeria, adding that the digital registry will increase transparency as well as serve as a central point where policymakers and governments can assess and track the nation's assets.
Aligns with the federal government commitment to ensuring that the management of public funds and assets is carried out in the most transparent and an accountable manner. Become a useful tool for investment decisions.
She says the compendium will provide a detailed breakdown of revenue allocation to the three tiers of the government and serve as a vital tool for policymakers.
It's a compilation of the revenue allocation from January 2020 to 2023, December 2023. And it is a very useful document for all the managers of government activities, both at the federal, state, and local government.
It is expected that Federal Allocation Account Compendium will serve as a guide in assessing government efforts at revenue generation and distribution. Kike Lomo Okere reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you, Kekalomo. The River State House of Assembly, led by Martin Amaewule, has called on Governor Siminalayi Fubara to sack all commissioners within 48 hours and submit a new list of nominees for appointment within the same time. The development follows Governor Fubara's denial of receiving any letter from the Amaewule-led House, which gave him a 48-hour ultimatum to present the 2025 budget before the House. In a swift reaction, the state government says the 27 lawmakers were acting on the figment of their imagination, overstepping their bounds and further heating up the polity with their demands. As fasting continues among Muslims all over the world, residents in Kano say a relative reduction in the price of goods and services is being recorded. Global Television's correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that hundreds of residents are storming the markets on a daily basis.
It's been 5 days since the beginning of Ramadan fast in Nigeria. Markets during this important period are usually busy. From fruit to vegetables, food items to clothes, traders are smiling here. It's been long since we had this huge reduction in price. Apart from some goods from Singa Market, everything here is cheap now. We used to sell this rice at the cost of 4,500 naira, but now it has reduced to 4,000 naira. Beans is now 2,500 naira per measure, compared to 3,000 naira before Ramadan. Millet is now 1,600 naira as against 1,700 naira. According to Kano residents, most commodities price has reduced, but not as expected, which is why people's purchasing power appeared on the increase.
I used to buy these beans 3.5, 3.7, but today I bought it 2.5. I don't know whether they will continue like this or they will stop for main time.
Vegetable and other perishable goods used to be very cost, but not anymore, as the prices of tomato, Pepper, onions, and other perishable goods record a sharp reduction in price. Before now, a bag of pepper cost 30,000 naira, but now it's 20,000 naira. A small measure of 1,000 naira is now sold at 700 naira. Tomato used to be 19,000 naira, but now it's less than 15,000 naira. While customers continues to troop in for their daily iftar shopping, food items continues to arrive by the truckload. From Kano, Idris Jubrin reporting for Global Television News.
Well, thank you, Idris. Let's go to the southeast now, where Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has reiterated his administration's commitment to partnering with the military in order to sustain peace and security in the state. The governor made this known during a courtesy visit by the General Officer Commanding 82 Division, Nigerian Army, Enugu, Major General Olufemi Olatoye, at the Government House in Owerri. Our correspondent on the ground, Amarachi Ibe, now reports.
Major General Olatoye and other security heads at the Sambakwe Esco Chambers. Governor Uzodinma emphasized the strong collaboration between the state government, security agencies, and the people of Imo. He assured the new GOC of his administration's continued support in creating a secure and conducive environment for residents and businesses.
On our own part, we will give you every support, every cooperation to ensure that the people of Southeast and residents here will have peace and be able to go about their businesses without fear of any molestation. It's our hope that you will continue with the speed and determination you have used all this while to ensure that the public interest will be protected.
Governor Uzodinma noted that the state aligns with the President Bola Tinubu's renewed strategy for national security and highlighted the improved interagency cooperation in the state, which he said has contributed to significant security improvements. He urged the ministry to intensify efforts in ensuring stability across the state.
I inform you that in Imo State, we have the best interagency cooperation, where both the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Police, the DSS are working together. For the past 6 years, we have never witnessed any rivalry among our agencies in Imo State. It's a credit that we also want other states to emulate.
In his remarks, Major General Olatoye said his visit was aimed at familiarizing himself with the state's leadership and reaffirming the military's commitment to its security mandate. He commended Governor Uzodinma for his proactive approach to governance and encouraged the continued use of non-kinetic strategy in tackling security threats.
The visit is actually designed for me to ascertain the operational readiness of Sector 4, appraise the challenges as well as their successes. It is equally a time for me to appeal to Your Excellency that you should not be tired in the coordination of all non-kinetic measures to eradicate all threats to security in Imo State.
As security remains a priority, both the Imo State government and the Nigerian Army are strengthening their partnership to enhance peace and development across the state. From Government House Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
We now turn to Benue State, where the government has signed a one-year work plan of understanding with the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, for the promotion of nutrition among children and women. Deputy Governor of the state, Samuel Day, on behalf of the government, assured them of maximum cooperation in order to provide basic resources for their Benue child. Felicity Nderi now reports.
The Memorandum of Understanding between the Benue State Government and UNICEF is for the improvement in child indices in the state. The Chief Field Officer at UNICEF Enugu Field Office, Ms. Juliet Chiluwe, says the multi-year work plan of 2025 to 2027 is the joint commitment towards the realization of the rights of children and women in the current country program of cooperation of 2023 to 2027.
We are requesting for the federal government in terms of their domestic resources to allocate at least 1% of its domestic budget towards strengthening of the primary health care. So it means if the government is able to put such amount of money for PHC, we'll be able to eradicate zero dose, polio, malnutrition, and the like.
Deputy Governor Sam Ode, who performed the ceremony on behalf of the state government, said the role of UNICEF towards nutrition social policy development can never be overemphasized, assuring them of maximum cooperation to the full implementation of the work plan.
For us, we consider it as an emergency, and I must tell you here on behalf of the governor that we are committed to our own part of this bargain. All the counterpart funding we need to put in place to match whatever you are doing so that we can deliver on the expected objectives. The Benue State government is going to do so.
The UNICEF Chief Field Officer said, with due process and diligence, the work plan will be achieved as it aligns with the present administration's policy to adequately manage the well-being of vulnerable people in the state. In Makurdi, Celestine Dere, Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agmofwebe. When the rest of the news returns, we turn to sports for you.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Thank you for staying with us. In sports now, Nigeria's senior women's football team, the Super Falcons, have held on to their 36th position in the latest FIFA global rankings. The Super Falcons also remain the top-ranked women's football team in Africa, underscoring their dominance on the continent. South Africa, Morocco, Zambia, and Ghana are the other countries in the top 5. World Football Chief Gianni Infantino says the 2026 World Cup final in New Jersey will make history by having a Super Bowl-style halftime show. He says Coldplay band members Chris Martin and Phil Harvey will determine the artists who will perform. Infantino revealed the decision following a meeting of FIFA's commercial and media partners in Dallas, Texas, ahead of the 2026 tournament, which will be hosted in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. We end News Prime tonight with a recap of some of our big stories. The Senate has suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, representing Kogi Central, for a period of 6 months. On the foreign scene, the World Health Organization, WHO, has cautioned that severe funding cuts, particularly by the United States, are threatening decades of progress in the battle against tuberculosis, which remains the world's deadliest infectious disease. And in sports, Nigeria's senior women's football team, the Super Falcons, have held on to their 36th position in the latest FIFA global rankings. And that's your News Prime tonight. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 24/7 broadcast. On behalf of the entire team here at Global Television's World Headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, I am Uyi Agmofwebe, appreciating you for your time tonight with us.